Hi everyone, I'm Meteorologist Rusty McCranie, and welcome to Weather Express. Your weather in 5 minutes. Start the clock. Friends, we currently have a storm system moving through the Ohio Valley. This is going to swing up into the northeast. It's bringing some decent rain and even a few lightning strikes at the hour. That's where we'll begin this Weather Express video. As always, love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section below where you're viewing from. If you live in Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, that's some solid rain right now. Pretty moderate activity, even a few lightning strikes as well. From Fort Wayne, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they could be seeing a few inches of rain in the western sides of PA for today. It does turn into a little bit of lake effect snow near Detroit. You notice the pinks and the oranges as well. That's a little bit of sleet and freezing rain, but temperatures are above freezing and so are road conditions, so I'm not expecting any accumulation. But if you live in the southern sides of Michigan, there could be a little bit in the way of some frozen precip mixed in with some of that cold rain. It's beautiful in the rest of the Northeast and New England, but this storm system is going to be pivoting to the northeast and colder air will be coming along with it. And so we're going to be talking about snow in that area over the next 48 hours, and we'll look at that in the models in just a minute. What a gorgeous day in the southeast. Miami had 80 for a daytime high, Atlanta the upper 70s, and a good chunk of the Carolinas, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, all were in the upper 70s with nothing but sunshine. This front extends back into Missouri and portions of Oklahoma. Temperatures are still quite lovely for the end of February, but we're just getting a little bit cooler air to try and sneak back in on the heels of that front because the winds are now turning back out of the north. Look, they're still fresh through the plains, 25, 35, even 40-mile-an-hour winds, but these winds are actually a little bit lighter than what they were yesterday, especially in the Intermountain West. And yes, these are cooler conditions compared to this time yesterday, but Minneapolis still hit 55 degrees for a daytime high. Back over to these winds, which yesterday in southern sides of Wyoming were nearly 75 miles an hour. They're still strong today, but again, they're not nearly as strong as what they were. And then back to the Pacific Northwest. Going to be watching a storm system coming in the coming days. At this point in time, when I throw on the surface winds, you're going to see that they're actually pushing a little bit offshore, right? So right now we actually have kind of a southeast wind, but eventually winds will turn back out of the west, and that's going to allow our next storm system to move into the Pacific Northwest, and we'll look at that in just a second. Let's start off right now taking a look at the models. I'm going to show you the HRRR model, the high resolution refresh, rapid refresh. Over the next 48 hours, we're back to the Ohio Valley in the northeast. Fast moving system again coming out of Ohio, Pennsylvania. It's going to be racing up towards New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, portions of Massachusetts, and into Maine. Now, again, on the northern side of this, you are going to have cold enough air where it does turn into some snow, but you got to get north of I-90 for that to happen. So you're looking at upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, places like Rutland, Killington, Vermont, on over towards the western sides of Maine, Manchester, going to get some snow showers as well. But generally speaking, even back down towards Boston and the city, this is going to be liquid precipitation. And even behind it, more warmer air comes in, and this turns into showers and a few isolated storms here across portions of the Ohio Valley, again, in the mid-Atlantic states. So we've got a couple different systems coming in the next 40 hours. The first one swings right across there, drags a cold front back down into the Carolinas and the Delmarva Peninsula, and then a secondary one brushes the Great Lakes with some snow, and then it turns back into some rain into the Ohio Valley. We're going to see a little bit of moisture trying to develop over the Gulf, but generally speaking, a lot of the southeast will be dry over the next couple of days. Dry in the plains as well, though a little bit cooler. And there's our next Pacific storm. A little bit of rain for Washington State, but watch that curlicue off of the coastline of California. That's the next one we really have to pay attention to. So for today, again, storms in the Ohio Valley. Tomorrow, they'll swing into the Appalachians and portions of the mid-Atlantic states. And then tomorrow, a few days from now, we'll watch out for a few storms in California. But I do want to point out that down the road, already, the Storm Prediction Center is highlighting the opportunity for severe storms in portions of Arklatex. This could be the first significant severe weather outbreak into early March for this area, and that's something I'm going to keep a very close eye on here in the coming days. In the next 6 to 10 days, we're going to see the colder weather plunge back into the west. You can see those blues. That means temperatures below average, warming up in the deep south in the southern plains. That's going to add fuel to the fire for that severe weather potential. And then precipitation chances are going to remain high through the mid portion of the United States, especially into the Ohio Valley and portions of the Northeast. But there's a good chunk of the U.S. which will continue to see temperatures above average. When we look at snowfall totals, again, it's New England with 1 to 2 inches in a couple of areas. Total precip as far as rain goes, some for the southern plains, Ohio Valley, and again, back into the frozen precip into the Northeast. Friends, as you can see from the clock, I'm out of time. Appreciate you doing a quick favor and just hitting that like button if you enjoyed this content. And I really appreciate it if you consider subscribing to Weather Express. Thank you for those who already have. Thank you for those who will. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'm back tomorrow with your latest 5-minute forecast.